In 3, 2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 7th of August, and apparently it's Furnace Friday, so wear your sunscreen. And a big happy birthday to Robert Mueller, Alexis Sale, David Duchovny and Charlize Theron.
7.
Fears of a second wave of coronavirus continue to mount, with the government introducing new quarantine restrictions for travel to Belgium, the Bahamas and Andorra, amid warnings that travel to France could be next to be restricted. Meanwhile, there's a scandal brewing over the awarding of government contracts for PPE, with serious questions being asked about some of the deals done at the peak of the first wave. Obviously, Boris was reluctant to get involved when Channel 4 News asked him about it.
I'm very disappointed that any consignment of PPE should turn out not to be fit for purpose. The particular bit you're talking about is subject to legal proceedings, so I can't comment on that. I have to wait and see how that develops. But overall, don't forget what we have achieved: a colossal race against time to produce billions of items of PPE, sourcing them from abroad, but now increasingly making them here in the UK as well.
He also continues to defend the track and trace system as world-beating and has that reminder for everyone of the new mantra.
But what it also takes, of course, is that everybody remembers the mantra: hands, face, space.
The government is pushing ahead with its major planning reforms. Housing Minister Robert Jenrick says there's a major housing crisis that requires planning processes to be sped up.
I think that we do still have a major housing challenge as a country. You know, it is much more difficult to get on the housing ladder today as a young person it was just 10 or 20 years ago. We have a large number of people on local council housing waiting lists. We're helping the homeless and rough sleepers off the streets, and we need accommodation for them. This is a huge generational challenge. We want to rise to it.
Keir Starmer, not impressed.
This is a developer's charter, frankly, taking councils and communities out of it. And on affordable housing, which is the critical issue, it says nothing. In fact, it removes the initiatives that were there for affordable housing. So a developer's charter and missing the central part, which is affordable housing, which is much needed across the United Kingdom.
The New York Attorney General announced a major action yesterday against the NRA, the National Rifle Association, the biggest gun lobby group, which is supposed to be a non-profit organisation, but pays its chief exec, Wayne LaPierre, over $2 million a year.
Just a few minutes ago, my office filed a lawsuit against the National Rifle Association to dissolve the organization in its entirety for years of self-dealing and illegal conduct that violate New York's charities law and undermine its own mission.
Meanwhile, the Donald appears to be having a meltdown as polls show Joe Biden maintaining his lead. Speaking in Ohio, he lists off seemingly random things that Joe Biden is against or will destroy.
Take away your guns, destroy your Second Amendment, no religion, no anything, hurt the Bible, hurt God. He's against God, he's against guns. He's against energy, our kind of energy.
4.
The aftermath of the Beirut explosion continues to unfold. As rescuers search through the rubble and public anger mounts with protests in the street, French President Emmanuel Macron visited Lebanon yesterday and offered French support and aid.
To help as rapidly as we can, we brought drugs, direct aid, surgeons, doctors. We have to send food. We need a new political initiative. And I'm here to bring help to coordinate. We will launch a European and international initiative to bring money and help directly to people.
3.
Last night saw Wolves and Rangers in action in the Europa League, and Rangers were knocked out by Bayer Leverkusen, while Wolves beat Olympiacos 1-0 to go through to next week's quarter-finals. Meanwhile, as Formula One prepares for the 70th anniversary Silverstone race this weekend, Lewis Hamilton spoke about his contract situation and why he's reluctant to start talks right now.
I think particularly in a time where people are losing their jobs, I generally honestly feel a little bit awkward with sitting down and talking about numbers and talking about a new contract when there are people out there who are not eating. There are people out there that starving, people out there lost their jobs during this pandemic. So I don't know, I feel a little bit awkward with it. That's why I've kind of stepped back a little bit. And but of course I will do at some stage. But I am absolutely 100% committed to my team. I'm loyal.
As we said, Michelle Obama launched her new podcast last week, and in her second episode she opens up about how she's feeling. And given the current climate, it's not surprising that she's feeling a bit depressed.
There have been periods throughout this quarantine where I just have felt too low. I've gone through those emotional highs and lows that I think everybody feels, where you just don't feel yourself. And sometimes there have been a week or so where I had to surrender to that and not be so hard on myself and say, you know what, you're just not feeling that treadmill right now.
Gwyneth Paltrow has become more famous as a lifestyle expert than an actress lately, whether it's her fanny-smelling candles or a Goop brand. And she caught up with new mum Cameron Diaz to chat kids. It turns out Gwyneth can be pretty pushy.
I would not have become a mother if it wasn't for you. I would be like, I'm not having kids. And you're like, you are having kids. You're getting married. You're having children. And I was like, no, I'm not. And you're like, you have to do it. You have to. And so I credit you so much with the fact that you never let up on me. You were so, I would say encouraging and also pain in the ass.
This has been the Smart 7. Be smart, wear a mask. We've got an Alexa skill now, so enable us and then just say, Alexa, play the Smart 7. We're back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.